Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave.
It's good, y'all. So if you don't know by now, Teofimo Lopez got absolutely cooked by Shakur Stevenson this past Saturday. It was a masterclass performance from Shakur Stevenson, and he made Teofimo Lopez look average, right? So everybody's asking the same question. Where does Teofimo Lopez go from here? Now, Teo himself has made it very clear that he is moving up to 147, the welterweight division, after his second loss of his professional boxing career. But there is a stain on Teofimo Lopez's boxing career right now, right? There's a permanent stain. That Shakur loss is a permanent stain. His first loss that he suffered against George Kambosos, people forgave Teofimo Lopez for that loss. People really forgot about it. Do people still bring it up? Yes, but Teofimo Lopez claims that he had some medical issues going on during that fight. He provided the proof that there was something going on during that fight. And when you look at what George Kambosos did after that fight, he lost basically almost all of his fights after he beat Teofimo Lopez, right? Lost to Devin Haney twice, lost to Vasily Lomachenko, got stopped by Lomachenko, lost to Richardson Hitchens. So, people don't really care about the fact that Teo lost to George Kambosos. But this Shakur Stevenson performance, Teo was regarded as one of the four kings. People held Teo at a high level after he beat Lomachenko, after he beat Josh Taylor, right? So the fact that Shakur beat Teo so easily, people are questioning whether Teo, can bounce back from this. And I think he can, but it has to be against another elite opponent. Teo cannot move to 147 and, fight a Ryan Garcia or a Mario Barrios or a Brian Norman Jr. And, people are going to go back to regarding Teo as a pound-for-pound fighter. No, that's not what Teo can do. He can do that if he chooses to, but his career will never bounce back if that's the route that him and his father choose to go. Now, this is what I think Teofimo Lopez should do. There is one fight out there that if Teo can get this fight, which I believe he can, if he can win this fight, he can bounce right back into the pound-for-pound list, and he can bounce back and redeem himself and help people forget about that loss against Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez has to get Gervonta Tank Davis out of retirement, and he needs to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, whether it's at 147 or 140, okay? Gervonta Tank Davis is a small guy. Teo is a small guy as well, but Gervonta Tank Davis has not fought at 147 yet. Gervonta Tank Davis is currently at 135. And when he does come back, I'm expecting Gervonta Tank Davis to move up to 140, which is where Teo should stay because, listen, if Shakur moved up to 140 from 135, what makes Teo think that he'll have more success at 147? Now, I will say this. 147 is a weaker division than 140. 140 has a lot of sharks, right? You got Isaac Pitbull Cruz. You got Gary Antoine Russell, right? You obviously got Shakur. You got Keyshawn Davis just had his first fight at 140. 140 is a stacked division. So 147 is an easier division, but dudes is punching a little bit harder at 147, right? We've seen Devin Haney's power go up at 147 against Brian Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? Dudes is punching at welterweight. So Gervonta Tank Davis, he's coming off of a draw against Lamont Bow Wow Roach Jr., right? He was supposed to fight Jake Paul. He ended up having the fight canceled because he had another Ike Turner, Chris Brown situation. And Tank is possibly going to end up doing some time in prison. But Gervonta Tank Davis, the fact that he bailed out so quickly, the fact that Tank seems to have the best lawyers in the country, I wouldn't be surprised if Gervonta Tank Davis walks away just getting probation and he can continue to fight, right? Okay, so I think Gervonta Tank Davis would love to fight Teofimo Lopez, because the way that he just lost against Shakur, a lot of people are now saying that Shakur is clearly better than Gervonta Tank Davis. All of the people that was saying that Tank knocks out Shakur easily and Shakur is a runner and Shakur has pillow fists, that dominant ass whooping that he gave Teofimo Lopez this past weekend, bruh, a lot of Tank fans is transitioning, they're transitioning into Shakur fans. He earned a lot of respect from people like myself. I'm a well-known Shakur hater on this channel, but I said on my last video, I will no longer call Shakur Stevenson Shakira Tupac Twitterson. That nickname is done after that masterclass he put on against Tio, okay? So Tank, he's sitting back and he's on Twitter, he's on Instagram, he's seeing what everybody's saying, right? He even made a post after the fight that had nothing to do with the fight, just to try to take some attention off of Shakur. He sees everybody, painting this narrative that Shakur is better than him now. And Gervonta Tank Davis, he feels some type of way about that. Because remember, Gervonta Tank Davis is the second face of boxing after Canelo Alvarez, okay? As far as, the eyes that he brings to the sport, the pay-per-views, Tank is the face of boxing after Canelo. If we're talking about revenue, if we're talking about pay-per-view numbers and stuff like that, right? He's even still over Shakur, over Devin. He's the guy, right? Now, if Gervonta Tank Davis fights Tio and he beats Tio in a more dominant fashion than Shakur did, then people are going to go right back to being with Tank. And we all know the big difference between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson is Gervonta Tank Davis is a knockout artist. Not just that, but Gervonta Davis is just as skilled as Shakur Stevenson. He doesn't have the defense that Shakur Stevenson has, but he's quick. He has good footwork, right? He obviously punches harder than Shakur, and he's just as skilled as Shakur. Shakur, like I said, Shakur just has the better defense, but they're very closely skilled, right? I think Shakur does have the edge, but it's not by much. It's not by too much. You know what I'm saying? So, Tank is looking at Tio like food right now. We know Tank is not going to move up to 147 to fight Devin Haney, especially after Devin Haney's performance against Brian Norman Jr., right? We know Tank is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson because Tank just knows that Shakur is just too skilled and it'll be too difficult for him. But he will fight after he saw how slow Tio looked against Shakur. Oh, Gervonta Tank Davis and his team, I guarantee you guys, they are definitely looking at Tio as a future opponent. And if you're Teofimo Lopez Jr. and Sr., and you see Gervonta Tank Davis struggled with Lamont Roach, and you see that Gervonta Tank Davis has been out of the ring for a while, he has ring rust, you have to fight Gervonta Tank Davis next, especially before he potentially ends up having to do some type of time. This fight needs to be made. Now Tio does have to heal up, right? He was cut really bad in that fight. But if this fight can somehow happen this year, especially around summertime, hey, bro, this is a chance for Tio to get his career back on track. This is a chance for Gervonta Tank Davis to remind everybody why he's a star, why he's arguably like the last superstar in boxing right now. It's really Tank and Ryan. Like, I hate to say Ryan, but Tank and Ryan are really the two young dudes that really bring eyes to the sport, bro. I just gotta call it what it is. So this is the fight that needs to happen. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I think it's a more 70-30 fight, 70 Tank, Tio 30. But, I think this is a great opportunity for both fighters to put themselves back on the map as far as being one of the best boxers in the world, getting on that pound for pound list. And it's a big money fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge money fight. Tio, listen, Tio is probably the most entertaining boxer in the sport right now, bro. He's funny. He was very entertaining at the press conference. His ring entrance on Saturday was incredible. Dude was dancing and all that. You know Tank is going to come to the fight on some gangster shit. You know Tank is bringing the YNs out. You know Tank is going to do what he do. I think this fight could be just as big as the Tank and Ryan Garcia fight was, because Teo is a more skilled boxer than Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a one-trick pony. If he can't land that left hook, he's not winning. Teofimo Lopez is skilled. You know, he just didn't look skilled against arguably the most skillful boxer in boxing. I think it's Oleksandr Usyk, and then I say Bivol, and then number 3, I got to put Shakur as far as skills. You know what I'm saying? But this is the fight that has to happen, man. This is the fight that can redeem Teofimo Lopez, save his career. Listen, guys, just because a boxer has 1 or 2 losses, it doesn't mean that their boxing career is over. But when you're regarded as one of the 4 kings in boxing, when you're regarded as a pound-for-pound boxer, when you lose in dominant fashion, how Teo lost to Shakur, because think about this, guys. William Cepeda did a better job against Shakur than Teo did. Edwin De Los Santos did a better job against Shakur than Teo did. When you lose in the fashion that Teo lost this past weekend, that can end your career, even if it's a second loss. So Teo has to get that lick back with an elite boxer like a Gervonta Tank Davis, because if he just fights a bunch of people that nobody cares about, similar to what Canelo's been doing before he fought Terrence, it's over. Okay, Teo will never get back to where he was at before. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this fight. Do you want to see Teo versus Tank? And let me know who you guys got winning that fight. Click that hype button, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. It's your boy Wavy. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.
Yo, stay Wavy TV, ride the vibe with me, splash through your screen, drip clean like the sea, high tide energy, never on mute. Turn from the sound, let the motion move you. Stay tuned, stay free, stay